In this lecture, we are going to see nomenclature of coordination compounds. So, the naming of coordination compounds is done according to IUPAC rules. So, IUPA, IUPAC rules start with first when a complex is given to you. First, you need to know the order of naming the complex. That is, first you always need to name the cationic species followed by anionic species. Then coming to naming of coordination sphere. In the coordination sphere, you know there is a metal and there are its ligands coordinated to its metal. So the coordination sphere is enclosed in square braces and the metal is being indicate metal oxidation state is indicated in Roman numerals. Then naming of ligands. So you have different names for various ligands. As in the earlier lectures, we have studied that ligands can be of neutral type, either cationic or anionic. Suppose you have the ligands of neutral type, then the name of the ligands have been given as follows. Suppose you have CH3NH2, which is known as methylamine, N2H4 hydrazine, NH2CH2CH2NH2, it is ethyl diamine or EN. Then you have C6H5N, this is pyridine, PF3 is trifluorophosphate. And there are some neutral ligands which have some special names like H2O is called aqua, NH3 is amine, CO is carbonyl, CS is thiocarbonyl, NO is nitrosyl. So these are the neutral ligands. So these are the names you mention when these ligands are present in the coordination complex. Then next up you have naming of positive ligands. Whenever you have positively charged ligands in your complex, you will end the naming by IUM. For example, you have NH4 plus. This is ammonium. NO plus nitrosonium. If you have H3O plus, it is hydronium. Then naming of negatively charged ligands. When you have a negatively charged ligand, so the name of the ligand should be ended with the letter O. For example, OH minus is called hydroxo, H minus is hydrido, SO4 2 minus is sulfato, GLY is glycinato, DMG is dimethylglyoxymato, F minus is fluorido. So these are the names of positive ligands and negative ligands. So you need to remember that whenever there are positively charged ligands, you will end the name with IUM. Whenever you have a negatively charged ligand, then you will end their name with O. Next up, you have how do you number ligands? Suppose for a given complex, you have certain number of ligands like 2 or 3 or 4, so on. So when a monodentate ligand occurs more than one time in the coordination sphere, then we will represent its number by 2. In case if you have two ligands, it is represented by di. If you have three, it is mentioned it as tri. If you have four, it is tetra, five penta, and so on. So these are the prefixes to be used for the number of ligands within the coordination sphere if the ligand is a monodentate ligand. So suppose if the ligand present inside the coordination sphere is a polydentate ligand, and if it is present more than once, then what are the prefixes to be used? So in that case, you need to use the prefixes like bis, tris, tetrakis for 4. For bis for 2 ligands, tris for 3 ligands, tetrakis for 4 ligands. So ethylene diamine is a polydentate ligand where its density is 2. So in such cases, in polydentate ligand cases, you need to use prefixes like bis, tris, tetrakis. So then coming to naming ambidentate ligands. So we all know that ambidentate ligands have different donor atoms. So one same ligand can bind with different kind of donor atoms. Suppose for example, I have taken Cn minus. cyanide, then it can bind with C. If it binds with C atom, then the name given will be cyano. If the nitrogen atom is the donor, then you will name it as isocyano. So this is the example to name an ambidentate ligand. Then how do you name the metal present inside the coordination sphere? So there are certain rules. So the first rule is when coordination sphere does not carry any charge, then there is no charge in mentioned in the name of the metal. So if the charge on the coordination sphere is not present, then the name of the metal will be as such. Suppose Ni will be nickel, Co will be cobalt, Cr chromium, Pt is platinum. Similarly, if coordination sphere carries positive charge, it means that coordination sphere is having a positive charge on top of it. Then also you have to mention the name or metal as such. That is Fe is iron, Cu copper, Zn zinc, so on. So if a coordination sphere does not carry any charge, or if it carries a positive charge, the name of the metal will be written as the element name is present. But if the coordination sphere carries a negative charge, it means if the coordination sphere is having a negative charge or anionic form, then you will use the word ATE at the end of the metal. For example, B, boron, you will name it as borate. CO, cobalt, you will name it as cobalt 8. So, at the end of the metal, you will need to add ATE as the name. Then when the coordination sphere carries positive or negative charge, then use the word ion at the end of the complex. If the given complex is in anionic form or cationic form, then you will end the name by using the word ion. Suppose if you have, when before the coordination sphere hydrogen H is present, then name of the metal ends with IC acid. For example, if you have H, BF4, BF4 is inside the coordination sphere. This square braces represent coordination sphere. So in such cases, when hydrogen is present outside the coordination sphere, then you will end the name of the coordination compound with IC acid. That's why the name has become tetrafluoro, because there are four fluorine, and this is boron. So boric acid, IC acid is being added at the end because there is a hydrogen here. And 3 represents the oxidation state of boron in this particular coordination complex. Then, to summarize, this is a brief summary about the rules we have gone through already. So, the names of ligands attached to the metal should be used as prefixes. So, first you will name the ligands and you will add prefixes to the ligands. Then, the name of the cation appears first. So, in a coordination compounds, you will first start naming the cation and then you will go to the anion. Then, all the ligands should be listed alphabetically. So here is an example shown. I have given CO, NH3 taken 5 times Cl, and outside the coordination sphere you are having Cl2. So your coordination sphere is a cation here, and outside there is Cl2. Chloride is an anion obviously. So you will start naming by cation and then you will name the anion. So there are two types of ligands present within the coordination sphere. One is the ammonia molecules, and there are 5 ammonia molecules, and there is one chlorine atom. So, when you have 5 ligands, that's why the name penta, prefix penta, has come here. And then you have ammonia NH3. So, whenever you have NH3, you need to name it as amine. So, pentaamine, and then you have chlorine atom, so you will name it as chloro. Then you have cobalt, so you have written cobalt, and 3 is its oxidation state. So in the earlier lectures I have already mentioned how to find out the oxidation state. So using that method you need to find out the oxidation state and you need to write in Roman numerals placed inside the bracket. So pentaamine chloro cobalt 3. So this is the name of the cation. And if you see closely, the ligands are listed alphabetically. So amine is listed first and then C chloro. So this penta, tetra, all these prefixes will not be considered when you are naming the ligands alphabetically. So alphabetical order of ligands only applies for these, not for the prefixes. So then comes the anion, that is chloride. So the total name goes as pentaamine chloro cobalt 3 chloride. Suppose, and next comes if the ligand is an anion, if the complex is an anionic complex, then you need to end with O. Anionic ligands should be ended with O. Then the simple ligands can be named with mono, di, tetra, penta, etc. If the prefixes can be added like this. If the ligands are complex, then bis, tris, tetrakis, those should be added. These are all I'm repeating once again. Then if the complex is an anion, the metal name has to be ended with ATE. I told you already. Then the oxidation number of the metal should be always written in numerals and enclosed in parentheses after the metal. So now here is the example where I am showing Na2MoOCl4. So you have sodium outside the coordination sphere, and this sodium is the cation, and the entire coordination sphere now becomes anion. In the last case, last example, we have seen the coordination sphere was the cation and the outside ionizable species was the anion. But here you have ionizable species is a cation and you have the coordination sphere as an anion. So first you will name the cation, then only you will go to anion. So what is the cation? The cation is sodium. So sodium, then go to anion. You have molybdenum metal, oxygen as an ligand, and there are four chlorine atoms which are the ligands. So first you need to name alphabetical order. So chloro comes first. So four ligands are there. So tetrachloro, and oxygen is named as OXO, and you have molybdenum metal. So molybdate, because ATE is ended because the complex is an anion. So tetrachlorooxo molybdenate, and when you find out the oxidation state of molybdenum, you will get it as 4 and write the oxidation state in Roman numerals inside the parenthesis. Then suppose if you have bridged ligands within the complex, then how do you name those coordination complexes? So when one ligand acts as a bridge between metal atoms, you need to use the prefix mu. Okay, so if the same ligand acts as bridge between metals more than one time, so if only one bridge is considered present, then you will just mention a prefix mu. If there are two bridges like that, then you will mention it as mu di. If it is three, mu tri. If there are four, mu tetra, so on. Suppose if different ligands acts as bridges between two metals, then every bridged ligand should start with a symbol mu, and all those ligands should be in alphabetical order. So if same ligand is present, then you will write mu di, tri, so on. If based on the number of times the ligand is repeated. If different ligands are present as bridges, then you will name them, start with mu and name them alphabetically. So for each bridged ligand, you will write one mu. Then if bridged and non-bridged ligands are same, then for if there are bridged ligands and there are non-bridged ligands, then and both the ligands are same, then first you need to name the bridged ligands by using the symbol mu followed by non-bridged ligands name. Then if the bridged ligands and non-bridged ligands are different, then one should give the name to non-bridged ligands first and then go for bridged ligands. Next up you have, if bridged complexes are to be represented, you need to use the words di, tri, tetra, etc. before the name of the metal. Then ordering of naming of ligands. When different types of ligands are present in the coordination sphere, you need to give their names according to alphabetical order. So the rules are same as well here also, but whenever you have a bridged ligands, you have to place a mu. Then here is the example. You have a bridged ligand as OH. OH is the bridged ligand which is attached to chromium here and the chromium on the other side. Then this is inside the coordination sphere, and outside you are having Cl5. There are 5 chloride ligands outside. Then because this is a bridged ligand, you need to start with mu. So mu dihydroxo, the name given for OH minus. Then you have bis. This is because there are a big poly big group present here, a metal coordinated with 5 ammonia ligands. So bis pentaamine, because there are 5 ammonia molecules, pentaamine chromium. In bracket you will mention the oxidation state of the metal as 3. This is the cationic part that is ended here, and outside you have the anionic part, that is chloride. So mu hydroxo bis pentaamine chromium 3 chloride. So next up you have a example where you have two types of bridged ligands. One is NH2 and the other one is OH. So first you will name according to alphabetical order. So mu, because it is a bridged ligand, mu amido for NH2. NH2 is different from NH3. Please remember that. So mu amido. Then you have OH. So mu hydroxo. Then you can if you calculate the number of ammonia molecules, here there are 4 and here there are 4, so total there are 8. So that's why the name has come octa amine, because there are ammonia. Then dicobalt, because there are 2 cobalt atoms. In the bracket you will mention the oxidation state of the cobalt, and because it is a ion, there is 4 plus charge on the coordination sphere, you will mention it as ion here in the name. So you can either name like this, like bis pentaamine chromium 3, or you can also write the total number of ligands present like octaamine, then number of metals dicobalt, because there are 2 cobalt here, so dicobalt 3 ion. So either way you can mention the name of the complexes.